Hi, guys. So, I have come to you to give you somewhat of a life update. And you may care, you may not care, and that is perfectly fine. But I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit about what's going on in my life outside of the very small amount of it you've seen on YouTube. And you would notice that lately I haven't been as religious in posting videos. Well, there is a reason for that. I have been dealing with some things at work, and it has made my drive and maybe my creativity plummet, to be perfectly honest. So I actually made the decision recently to quit my job, and I put my notice in, and my future is incredibly uncertain, which is really stressful. But there are a few very exciting things on the horizon regardless. But I wanted to kind of open up a little bit and take this time to let you know that if there is something that you are dealing with in your personal life, whether it be work or with someone, outside of work on a personal level, it is okay to distance yourself from things that you find toxic or unhealthy. It's okay to walk away from something when it becomes too taxing. For me, that was my job, and my job is very demanding. It's a very high stress, high intensity position, and I worked very hard to get to my position, and I like the job. So the job itself is something that I enjoy. I like doing the work. It's the people that make it incredibly difficult at times, and it's not the people you interact with for employment, like for my actual job description, it's typically coworkers. So in my specific situation, I had a coworker who I was having very specific issues with, and I had attempted to solve the problem myself to no avail. And I was very crystal clear and upfront about the issue, and unfortunately, it didn't work out in the way that I would like, and it didn't have a result that I thought was appropriate or professional or that helped in any way, shape, or form for my sanity or mental health. So it got to a point where the job became too taxing on my mental health. And unfortunately, the very specific person I was engaging with at work did not, they just didn't handle it professionally, and they didn't handle the situation in a way that would foster a continuing working relationship. It's unfortunate, but also the same person, and all it takes is one sometimes, made my work life a living hell for quite a long time. And I let it go, and I tried to reset it myself, and I tried to handle it myself, and I wasn't able to make a difference, and I wasn't able to handle it because the person wasn't listening to me. And if any of this sounds familiar to you, you can imagine, and I can even empathize with you, how frustrating it is, how demoralizing it is, and how stressful that it can be to engage with someone who just refuses to respect you on any level, despite attempts to reset the relationship. And I'm sorry if you're dealing with this. You are not alone, and you are not the only one. It doesn't matter if your profession is white collar job or a blue collar job. We all deal with this. And I think it's something that I just want to take some time and make some space for. It's unfortunate. And I'm sorry if you're also going through this, because this is something that I definitely don't want a repeat of. It is an experience that was incredibly uncomfortable. It felt incredibly unsafe, and it put me in a position that I would like never to be in again. So I am hoping that by quitting this job, I am putting that person in the situation firmly in the rearview mirror. I can put it in the past where it belongs, and I can move forward with a new chapter of my life that is healthier and safer and a lot more comfortable and significantly less stressful. So, on to some of the exciting developments. Since I quit my job, it gave me the once in a lifetime opportunity to take a trip that I have been dying to take my entire life. So, in a week or two, I am going to step onto a plane and spend 2 weeks in Japan. And this is something I have wanted since I was a teenager. Since I have the very first anime that I put my eyes on, going to Japan and experiencing it for myself has been something that I have always wanted to do. I wouldn't have had this opportunity if I didn't make the decision to leave my job. This is the only time that I think I'm going to get this amount of time off to be able to take advantage of this opportunity. Hold on one second. What are you doing? I'm back. This is something I've always wanted to do, and it's a once in a lifetime opportunity that I wouldn't get a chance to do if I wouldn't have made the decision that I made. And it's scary because it puts my future in a financial level of uncertainty that I am not otherwise super ecstatic about. It brings its own level of stress, but I had to make the decision between the level of stress that I was dealing with at work or the level of stress that I would deal with for financial uncertainty. And to be perfectly honest, the level of financial uncertainty was significantly less than the level of stress and hardship I was dealing with at work. Like it wasn't worth the money, to be perfectly honest. And I'm happy to put it behind me, and I'm happy to be able to have this opportunity to take this trip. So the second development I have, which if you guys have been hanging on and you've noticed that maybe my camera is not the most up to date and high resolution piece of equipment, you are correct. That is because I am using a $25 webcam from Amazon. But recently, I have purchased a DSLR camera, and I am making payments because I am not a money tree. But I am wicked excited to be able to put this puppy into play and show you guys what it can do. It's still gonna be a little bit because I need a capture card for it, but I am wicked excited because it's gonna offer a 4K high resolution camera that I otherwise do not currently have. A lot of the blur that you see on my camera, a lot of the noise that you see on my camera is gonna be omitted by this. I'm also taking this to Japan with me so I can get some really beautiful pictures while I'm there. And I will be there in peak cherry blossom season. So I will hopefully get some very pretty pictures. And if you guys are interested, I will share some of the details of my trip, like the pictures and maybe any videos that I take. But if you're not interested, I will put that in a little file and you may peruse if you want. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. Um, Hopefully when I get back from this trip is going to reset. I'm going to have kind of like a refresher and a chance to come back with a different mindset. I'm not going to be as tired. I'm not going to want to come home and just sleep for hours at a time and not get out of bed. It's hopefully going to put me in a better mental headspace and in a better position. And I think not having to go to work every day and deal with this person that I've been dealing with, I think that's going to have a huge effect on my mental health and my level of creativity and willingness to come back and hit this head on and give you guys content, and hopefully content you enjoy, because my ultimate goal, I don't really have like a plan for this YouTube channel outside of posting, gameplay that I can play with and edit and share with you guys, and hopefully it's something that makes your day a little lighter and you enjoy it. The only goal I do have for the channel is to offer content that's a little bit different from what you're getting from everybody else's channel. And that's maybe it offers something a little bit more unique. And that is my ultimate goal. So if you guys have any suggestions, if you have any games that you want to see me play, definitely feel free to shoot a comment, leave a comment, drop a comment in one of my videos, and I will attempt to obtain the game and play it and then post gameplay. So I'll leave you with that, and I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you, and enjoy. Have a great day.